RenderForest.com.
Hi all, I'm Trisha Peach, host of the Peach Buzz, and I know this is typically a ministry show where we talk about kids ministry, family ministry, but I needed to take a minute this week for something personal. So this is probably not a typical episode, but I needed to say thank you to everyone that has prayed for and supported my family and my father-in-law over the last 2 weeks. For those of you who don't know, my father-in-law went in for a heart catheter surgery 2 weeks ago, and it went very, very wrong. He ended up having a massive stroke, and then another stroke on top of that before they caught that he'd even had a stroke. So it was way outside of the window. He had to have the special medications for the stroke by 1 hour after, and he did not receive that because no one knew he'd had a stroke. So it was well over 3 hours before the medication was given to him, and that was pretty bad because he, at the time, they did not think he would survive. He could not swallow, he could not breathe on his own, he was going in and out of a coma, he couldn't move one whole side of his body, and they pulled the family in and asked about final directives, and they tried to prepare my mother-in-law to say goodbye. And with COVID-19, this was really, really tough. No one was allowed to go in with him. My mother-in-law they said probably shouldn't have been, but she would not take no for an answer and wouldn't leave. But the rest of us couldn't even go in there to say goodbye. This was really tough on my husband, who wanted to be able to say goodbye. And my mother-in-law just kept asking for prayer, and I put it on my Facebook, and I couldn't believe people from all over the world, all over the United States where I live, were all saying, we're praying right now for your father-in-law. And there was even one point where my mother-in-law said that he flatlined, and she could feel people's prayers. She said, please thank people, please tell them I could feel those prayers. And he came back around. Now in the time since then, he has made a lot of progress. He's actually been able to go home. They said he's the first one in our county that has been this severe that has been able to go home. Part of that being because my mother-in-law is an RN. But it's a huge challenge. So he has supplemental oxygen, and he can swallow to some extent now. He has the use of both legs and one arm. And the other day, a big win, he spoke all of our names. He spoke everyone's name, and he knew who everyone was. Now there's other pieces that are missing, like he didn't know what a giraffe was, but he could remember things that happened in the family 20, 40 years ago. He's saying many different words, but he can't spell them. And this has been incredibly tough on my mother-in-law and my sister-in-laws, who are taking care of him around the clock. And I mean 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They do not want him in a nursing home, which I understand. He is making progress in PT and OT, speech therapy. But my mother-in-law, she needs a lot of prayer because it's exhausting. She's not getting much sleep. My sister-in-law is not getting much sleep. Neither of my sister-in-laws. And my sister-in-law's brand new boyfriend, this has kind of been, bam, hey, welcome to the family. But I needed to thank everyone for your prayers. Thank you so much. It's making a huge difference. And my father-in-law thanks you. And thank you for your prayers. Just so you know what a huge difference they've meant and how much they meant to me and to my husband and to our family. And we're committed to taking care of my father-in-law and having him keep making progress. Please pray that he is off the supplemental oxygen and the feeding tube soon. And again, thank you. I know this was personal. I'll go back to making ministry videos, but I appreciate all of you, and I love you, and thank you, and I needed you to have an update of what was happening. If you'd like to leave a comment or a prayer for my father-in-law, do so below, and I promise I will share it with him. God bless you. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic day.